I'm Gwen Preston of Resource Maven. We're here at the Metals Investor Forum in September 2019, and I'm joined by Scott Trebilcock, who fairly recently joined KORE Mining to lead the company. So let's start with that. What is KORE, and what attracted you to this opportunity?
That's a great way to start learning about KORE. I liked KORE because it's gold. Number one, gold is the place to be.
Certainly.
I come out of Nevsun Resources. Off a good win, thought about base metals and said, no, gold's for me.
Done with that for a while.
Yeah, done with that. KORE was new out of the gate, so it RTO'd a company in November, so it's a brand new company. Most of the shareholders from the RTO are gone, so it's got a nice clean capital structure. Between myself and the rest of management and directors, we own 47% of the company now.
Fantastic.
And we'll talk in a bit, we got a couple big strategic investors in there, so we got good, strong support, nice, clean capital structure, not a bunch of warrants and options and stuff to come out when the share price goes up, so really excited. But what's really the value of the company about? We got 5 million ounces in the ground across 4 projects, 3 of them with resources. Lots of exploration upside, nice sized projects. They're shallow, 100% owned. And it's an exciting time to be a gold company.
Absolutely. It's like contagious. I love it.
It is. It is. It's super exciting.
Okay, so let's start with Imperial, which is the flagship project for sure. This is down in California. This is a sort of advanced asset in a strategic location. So capture for us what Imperial is and what you're doing there in the near term.
Yes, exactly. So I just got back yesterday. I was down with the project with the board, trying to make sure we allocate our capital across the asset base. And we are going to be spending the money across the assets, but you're absolutely right. Imperial is the main asset. We have $4 million in the bank, courtesy of Macquarie Bank, not from their clients, from the bank, to invest in permitting that Imperial project. And why is a bank investing in permitting a project in a little junior? Well, it's because they believe it can get permitted, and they ultimately want to lend money to it. Right?
Yeah.
So that I took that coming in as great validation about why this project is permittable. The project itself is 2.2 million ounces of oxide. The deposit's separated from its root, so it's all oxide, no transition in sulfides, which makes it very amiable to a low capex heap leach project. So it's low grade, but it's higher grade than most of the stuff in Nevada, and it's easy. So the project had a previous feasibility study on it back in the 90s. When gold price went down to $300, the project went on the shelf. It had some challenges to the permitting at the time under the Clinton administration. We believe it's different times, and it's a great time to go and get that project in production. It's in a mineral belt that has so far about 14 million ounces of endowment. Mesquite, Equinox's mine, is about 6 miles to the west, and there's another old Glamis mine called Picacho, about 6 miles to the east. So it's right in the middle of the belt, and hopefully there's more of them.
That's interesting. Okay, so that's Imperial.
Imperial.
That's primarily a permitting story, but an important permitting story. Lots of developing value there. M&A possibilities, of course, because of the belt factor. But as we were talking about just before this interview, KORE is not a one-trick pony with just Imperial. You actually have other assets that are really interesting and are now, because of a new investment and new dollars into the company, are also going to be able to get a fair bit of money.
That's right, exactly. I mean, there's a huge value uplift for permitting, but it's not all that exciting.
And it takes time.
And it takes time.
People get bored.
It's, so we can generate a huge amount of shareholder value, but in the interim, we've got 3 really nice assets where we can have some really nice low-risk drill targets, shallow, doesn't cost a lot of money, where we can add ounces to resources, drill into some nice high-grade resources that we sort of hints of, do some step-outs, so we can generate some really nice drill news, and hopefully into a bull market here in the second half and in next year, and generate a lot of excitement. That's a reason for investors to get behind and look at the company and say, each one of our 4 assets could carry an increase in the valuation from where we are today, let alone the ability to pick across all 4 of them, potentially becoming the leading horse.
Absolutely. And one of the reasons that you're able to advance the portfolio more broadly right now is you did just get Eric Sprott in as an investor who put a significant chunk into KORE.
He did, compared to the market cap of the company. Eric put in $3 million. That made him a just around 10% shareholder of the company.
There we go.
We didn't actually want him to put any more because you know, we got enough stock tied up with insiders and big investors. Between Macquarie, Sprott, and insiders now, I think we got 60% of the stock.
You still need some to trade.
That's right. Yeah, we need everyone out there can buy stock. You know, we need some float out there. Anyway, so Eric put in $3 million. You know, without speaking for him, but it's, you know, he gave us the permission for the quote in the news release, right? 5 million ounces at $5 an ounce when you put the money in. Where do I sign?
Where do I sign?
Right? And he wants to see us put money into the ground to grow those resources and, you know, generate nice drill intercepts to drive shareholder value.
And if you haven't heard of KORE before, it's because Scott is sort of kicking off the first marketing campaign that the company's really done. You mentioned that it's a fairly new company, and the first half of 2019 was really focused on getting ducks in a row, getting money in line and all of that, and now you're like, okay, it's time to go out there and tell the story.
Absolutely. You're truly ahead of the curve. This is the first official event I've ever done around investors that's going to kick off, you know, the whole series of everything that goes on in September in the gold sector, so I'm really excited to be out there.
Perfect.
And really appreciate that you had me in here.
Well, thanks for coming in.